I am at home. Fear is the stranger here. We don't always make the connection that fear is quite literally what makes this world. Now, fear, of course, is a sense of an establishment of separation, like it's a reaction to what is separate from you. And so when you see fear and when you think of as fear or are afraid of something, anything, whatever it might be, it means that you are not in charge of this situation, that in fact you are succumbed to it, and either the person's will or the situation or the height or whatever it might be, instead of actually recognizing that you are the creator of this reality. Now that's, of course, somewhat of a stretch for a lot of people, but we just want to recognize that when you are in the presence of fear and you believe that there is something to be afraid of, that you have this distortion of your reality, your distortion of your perception of seeing what is actually here. Now, you developed this world, you created this whole reality to experience this separation. It's true. But you did not take into account the fact in which separation also establishes even that free will idea of having multitudes of free will, everybody having free will, and then you are are there against it, right? Everybody is against your will. It's like everyone has to have a separate will, and barely any, if any at all, are on your side. Talk about be afraid. I mean, even all these murders and killings and murders, stealings and rapes and all these different things that happen that, of course, I don't condone, nor, of course, in this case, don't condemn. But in that recognition that there has a reason to be afraid, or that I am afraid of it, is because I am also succumbed to it. That it's not that I am somehow in charge of it. So, of course, that's where you become the stranger. You like to debate or even think about. I don't know how far along you are in this course, but even talking with people, who's God? What's God? Where's God? Who's the creator? Is there a creator? Is it all natural? Is it evolution? As if it's even possible to debate. And yet we don't think it's possible to debate if we're a body. I'm a body, you're a body. Is that true? Are you sure you're a body? How do you know you're a body? These sensory perceptions? How do you know the sensory perceptions are telling you the truth? How do you know your mind's interpreting the truth of your sensory perceptions and not distorting it into another? It's like so much we don't debate things that we actually recognize, right? So the body, even as we discussed in the previous one about shadows, is recognizing that what you are seems to be completely oblivious to you, completely lost, that you don't even know and have no idea that God is even somehow related to you, let alone who you are. So it's impossible to really see and recognize that when this world is so real. These bodies are so absolutely phenomenal. It's amazing that how the structure of this can be so believable, so right in place, so I mean, yes. I don't blame you. It is very believable, and absolutely. And yet every time, what makes it more believable every time is fear. Fear, in some sort of way, it establishes itself that you believe that these things are separate, or you're going to experience loss, or you're going to be confused, or something's going to occur where you're going to be less than, or you're going to be embarrassed, or whatever it might be, all of which derive from ideas of separation and not unity, or even the sense of what one creator of its reality is. That you are the creator of this reality, and the experience of fear is created as well. You develop reasons to be afraid. You make this world to be a representation of what it is you already chose to exist. You chose separation to exist, therefore it represents that. You chose fear to exist, therefore it represents that. So you're counteracting your own decisions, which are so absolutely believable. It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's mind-blowing. So think about a decision of fear and separation is just as solid as this believing that you actually have a hand. You don't have hands. You don't have hands. You don't even have eyeballs. And yet it's that believable. That's how believable it is. And so the presence of fear is just as believable, and yet we see it more transient, and so that it comes and goes, so we think that we can come into it and out of it and into it and out of it, and yet we don't recognize that that's what we do with our bodies too. That the whole world, we come in it and out of it, in and out of it. And then there will be this establishment in which God, the memory of God, will return to your mind when you surrender, paraphrasing, when you surrender all the establishment of fear, all the ideas of separation. So that's what this course is about. To emphasize again, about forgiving everything so that you experience love for everything, not fear or any derivative of it, only derivatives of love, joy, peace, happiness. And through that, actually doing that 100%, when you hit a climax, you hit a peak of 100%, this world disappears. That's what I call my death experience. And of course, I had to accept resentments and grievances again to come back. You will have this experience. If you are attempting to fear, attempting not to sneeze. If you're attempting to forgive everything, you will achieve it. You will succeed. You just have to keep going. You have to keep essentially getting into situations that call for forgiveness and then apply it. They're not new situations. They seem new. This strange illusionary thing called time and differences, it's not new. Every time is an opportunity to completely see past all your reality and recognize that you do this to yourself. The whole existence. You do all existence to yourself. All existence. All existence. To yourself. To yourself. To you. Who? You. Yourself. You do it. No one else does it. Hallelujah. Of course, as a new student especially, being a little disorienting, holy crap, talk about blasphemous, the recognition of what you're attempting to achieve. If you're not practicing meditation, please get into meditation. It is very important. As we have talked about it, and the lessons sometimes get into it, they want you to do this in a moment of quiet, even if it's 5 minutes long, if not a half an hour, maybe an hour, maybe a half a day. But it depends on how serious you are to actually discovering this reality. It's that serious. I mean, you have to be that serious. You have to overcome yourself. This war is in here. This battle is in here. You don't even recognize yourself. You are the stranger. Because you make yourself into something you're not. You're worshiping this person that you are not. This fear construct. It's okay. We will succeed.